Any sign,
None.
Perhaps the King of France has cancelled the arrangements. Are you quite sure his envoy is on the way?
But yes.
You really believe your king will agree to the partition of the Netherlands?
What is the alternative? Gentlemen, Belgium must become a free and independent nation. And if the big powers do not support such a move, then war becomes inevitable. I am sure Lord Palmerston will share these views.
Implicitly, Monsieur Talleyrand.
Which makes it more than vital that the envoy from France should arrive and confirm the French position before the armies of the Netherlands resort to force. Time is the all-important factor, messieurs. Even 24 hours can make a difference between accord and conflict.
Are you suggesting we should wait here all night, Baron Kessel? If the storm in the English Channel is as bad as we've heard, the French king's envoy could still be waiting at Calais.
I fear Baron Garon is right. Perhaps we should adjourn and meet again tomorrow.
On Christmas Day?
What day could be more fitting for the gift of peace?
If the king's envoy arrives? And if the answer is yes?
If the answer is no, Baron Garon, then Christmas can bring the gift of bloody war to the whole of Europe.
It will not be no.
Until tomorrow, then. At sundown, gentlemen. Good night, and a Merry Christmas.
Merry and hopeful, monsieur. Good night. Innkeeper!
How's this for a cold Christmas Eve? You're right, Jacopo. Fit only for polar bears and penguins.
All right, my friend, some good hot grog will warm you up.
What's wrong with 3 warm beds?
Oh, no, we have to press on for London tonight.
Oh, my poor stomach. It's empty, that boat.
There's no cure like good exercise, so see that the horses are fed, watered, and then come back. Innkeeper, where are you? Some hot grog for the 3 of us, and time is short.
Hot grog, sir, at your service, sir. Will you step this way, sirs? Hot grog for the gentleman. Quickly, quickly.
Danger? Where? Can I be of service to you, gentlemen?
You are carrying a document from the King of France to Monsieur Talleyrand in London, monsieur. Give it to me, now. The document, monsieur. I am waiting.
I see. Has it occurred to you that I might be the wrong man? Evidently not.
We're wasting time. You can give it to me or I kill you and take it. Either way, I'm satisfied. But what is your choice?
Thank you, Jacopo. Your nose for trouble is worth all our tongues put together.
Edmond!
You lost some good customers. Your friend will pay for the grog.
Have I missed something?
Oh, some hot grog. We'll get some in London. Let's go.
Monte Cristo!
Monsieur Talleyrand.
Oh, I am delighted to see you. But what are you doing here in London?
Oh, I've always heard that Christmas is delightful in England.
And so it is. Please consider yourself my guest while here. But at the moment, I could have wished you were somebody else.
The envoy from the King of France.
Oh?
I have a message for you.
Oh.
His Majesty impressed it on me. It's been of extreme urgency and importance.
Oh. Louis chose well in sending you. This is important. Oh.
There is nothing wrong.
Wrong? Far from it. The king and his council agree to my plan for the partition of the Netherlands. With this document, the creation of Belgium is assured.
It almost didn't get here.
What?
My men and I were attacked on the way.
I feared that. By agents of the Netherlands, I suppose.
They didn't give their names, and we didn't stop to ask.
But it does show the king of the Netherlands is desperate. He would take any steps to prevent partition of his country.
Even war?
A full-scale war may be just what he wants. In the chaos of conflict, the causes are often forgotten and never remembered.
Then you think this message doesn't settle the matter?
At any rate, I am keeping my fingers crossed until after tonight's meeting. Duchess of Maastricht.
The most beautiful woman in Europe calling at this hour?
Beautiful, yes, but also dangerous. You know her?
Only by repute.
Well, then what you won't know is that she's not only a cousin of the King of the Netherlands, but also his most skillful agent. She would stop at nothing to prevent Belgium achieving national status.
Nothing?
Certainly not murder. Your murder, if it meant intercepting that document.
I should like to meet the Duchess.
I think it would be as well if you didn't now. Show the Duchess in. Now, out of sight, behind that door. Keep it open and listen.
The Duchess of Maastricht.
Your Grace.
How kind of you to receive me, monsieur.
My pleasure. Even at this most unusual hour.
But why should I wait to congratulate you? The envoy you expected has arrived, hasn't he?
You're remarkably well informed.
But oh, so poorly served. I anticipated the envoy would be, shall we say, delayed.
How disappointing for you. Won't you sit down?
No, thank you, monsieur. What I have to say is brief. No need to waste time in verbal fencing. You know my feeling concerning partition.
Only too well.
At this evening's conference... Oh, yes, I know it's been planned. At this evening's conference, you will once and for all put an end to the thought of Belgium becoming an independent nation.
Your Grace.
You can say your king does not support you. Say you'll do what you will. You have experience in these matters. But make sure the conference agrees not to partition the Netherlands.
Your suggestion is too ridiculous to be taken seriously.
I think you will change your mind, monsieur, when you learn what your son has done.
My son?
He sought for and received a bribe. A bribe, Monsieur Ambassador. 5 millions in gold, for which sum he has agreed on behalf of himself and you to guarantee the partition of the Netherlands.
I don't believe it.
No, what a shame. Others in the conference will.
No one would believe my son would be capable of such a thing.
They'll believe it because I have proof. Indisputable proof. The agreement, with your son's signature, as you see, monsieur, agreeing on behalf of himself and you to work for partition, and the receipt attesting that 5 millions in gold were deposited in your son's name at the Bank of England. We took the precaution of having 2 sets of papers signed by your son.
Where is he now? What have you done with him?
When you have done what we ask, then he'll be returned to you. So, either you prevent partition tonight, or I make the papers public. My way will be just as effective, but slightly less honorable, shall we say. So until this evening, monsieur, I will be with you as your guest, and with the other set of papers.
Where is Paul?
I haven't seen him for 2 days.
Exactly who knew of this partition plan?
Lord Palmerston, Baron Kessel, Baron Garon, myself, and of course the king and his council in Paris.
Did Paul know?
No.
This receipt from the Bank of England is dated yesterday, which means that the ultimatum was planned in advance, as was the attempt to stop me on the way by somebody who knew of the partition plan.
Couldn't be one of the members of the conference.
We shall see.
Where are you going?
To find your son and the truth.
But what of the conference tonight?
Proceed as you have never received the ultimatum.
But the Duchess.
As I told you before, I want to meet the Duchess.
I hope our mission is as successful as our previous ones.
You may prepare to serve. I'll ring for you.
I must warn you, do not underestimate Talleyrand.
He all but collapsed when I showed him the papers.
During 50 years of service to his country, the old man has found himself in many an impossible situation and found his way out.
Not this time.
Your confidence is amazing. What if they find the boy?
How can they? He's under heavy guard out at Roxham Manor. It would take a regiment to get him out. Come, let's eat. I'm famished.
There's certainly no marriage between your conscience and your appetite.
If there were, I'd have starved to death years ago.
I envy you. For myself, I suffer the dyspepsia of duplicity.
You have your way with words, even in that charming document you drafted. You may serve.
He got away from us. I tried to...
We know you're vulnerable. What is it, Zubrecht?
Monte Cristo.
What are you talking about?
Your waiter is the French envoy who slipped through our fingers. The Count of Monte Cristo.
I've heard of the gallant Count and looked forward eagerly to meeting him.
In all honesty, I can say the same about you, Your Grace.
I'm afraid the Baron and I have been indiscreet.
He knows too much.
Must you belabor the obvious, Baron? I'm sure you will understand and forgive Monsieur le Comte. It might have been delightful knowing you. Zubrecht, please escort our waiter out and see that you finish in London what you started on the way here.
Move!
Of course. Very delightful luncheon, Your Grace. We must do this again sometime.
No, you never can. Get our horses. He must have heard me tell the Baron that young Talleyrand is out at Roxham Manor. We'll deal with the Count of Monte Cristo later.
This is the place. Let's go.
Monte Cristo.
Your father's in serious trouble. Those papers you signed for the Duchess of Maastricht.
Papers? But they were notes to cover gambling debts.
You might have gambled away the future of Europe. They incriminate you and your father.
No, I swear it. They told me they were notes.
They? Who are they?
Baron Garon and the Duchess of Maastricht.
Garon.
It was all her fault, leading me on, making me gamble and drink, letting me make a fool of myself.
And that evidently is easy for you.
I know. But please, isn't there something I can do to set things right?
There is a conference tonight. You can expose the Duchess and the Baron to their faces.
Then
If we
please,
can get that in time.
in heaven's name, hurry.
Are you sure you didn't know what was on those papers?
I swear it.
What about the money?
Money? What money?
The 5 millions in gold, Paul, to be deposited without your knowledge to your account at the Bank of England.
Throw your sword over here.
I've always liked cat and mouse stories, Baron. But I think it's time we concluded this particular little tale.
Speaking of tails, does the dog wag the tail or the tail the dog?
Riddles, monsieur?
Curiosity, Your Grace. Since you seem to be doing all the barking, I wonder what the Baron's role in your unholy alliance might be.
If you must know, a trusted ally.
I see. And well paid, I imagine. Another 5 million of Netherlands money well spent?
And why not? Everything has its price. A man's life, his loyalty, even his kisses.
Not that you have asked, of course. But even for 5 times 5 millions, I wouldn't soil my lips on yours.
Let me kill the swine.
Wait. Did you come here alone?
Very seasonable weather England is having.
What do we do with him?
Nothing. Now. Our first concern is to prevent partition.
But what if others beside Monte Cristo know about the two of us?
Meaningless. Unless they can produce Paul Talleyrand at the conference.
My compliments, Your Grace. You would have made a wonderful advocate in a court of law.
Let's be on our way to the conference. Stay here and guard them closely. And no mistakes this time. Enjoy your Christmas, gentlemen. It may not only be your last Christmas in England, it may be your last Christmas anywhere.
Who is it?
Wood for the fire, sir.
Let them in. Be quick about it.
After him, Rico! How is it, Jacopo?
If what you say is true, then Belgium has been despicably betrayed.
Preposterous. Fantastic. Have you any proof of these charges?
Read them yourselves. The agreement and the receipt for the deposit of the money.
I find it impossible to believe what my ears and my eyes tell me. Monsieur Talleyrand, what do you say to all of this?
He says the charges are false. False, utterly baseless charges. And here to prove them a pack of lies and a fraud, and to make some charges of his own, is Paul Talleyrand.
Paul!
Gentlemen, you all know that the Duchess of Maastricht is an agent of the Netherlands. But what you don't know is that there is another agent among you. A traitor to his own country.
No.
Always belaboring the obvious, Baron. It was a good attempt. Now we must face the inevitable.
I'll deal with you later, Baron, after we hear the rest of this.
I'm afraid I underestimated you, Monsieur le Comte. My congratulations. Good night, gentlemen. For 5 times 5 millions, you said our lips would not meet. Maybe sometime, somewhere, the price will be right. Anyway, with Belgium lost, at least I can look forward to that.
Merry Christmas, Your Grace.
Thank you, Jacopo.
Ah, a toast to Monte Cristo.
To whom I owe so much that thanks alone are meaningless.
No, gentlemen, a more fitting toast. To a new independent Belgium and to peace. A happy Christmas.